probably saves us around $530 a month. That's something I would never be able to accomplish within just a few weeks. Uh,
Alvin, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business or app?
yeah, I'm Alvin Huang. I'm an 18-year-old from LA. I graduated high school in May of this year. And I built my app on Flute Printed Works essentially as a way for my former high school club, being led by one of my best friends right now, to have an ordering system and to have a specific system where they process their entire set of orders all the way through. Before we were using roughly 5 to 6 platforms on a daily, maybe 10 to 15 every single week. And by putting them all on one platform, we streamlined the entire solution and allowed students to have features like requesting volunteer certificates automatically, requesting volunteer hours, audit logs throughout all the systems, specific order details pages where they can just see everything they need to print the order on one specific page and to edit the order.
That sounds amazing, Alvin. We are fortunate to have you as the first flute builder on a series of flute builder interviews. Just to give a stronger idea of what you build with Flute, I want to ask you to pull it up. And in the meantime, why did you build with Flute? Why didn't you just code it? Are you a technical person, or where are you on the scale from pro developer or somebody who doesn't code at all?
I'm a very experienced developer in my own, is what I would say to myself. I've done big projects myself. I have a pretty extensive history of building entire projects myself. I used to program Minecraft mods. I used to uh, do game modding. Essentially, why I chose Flute is because I was scrolling through the entire YC directory, hoping to see anything interesting. Like always, I always end up finding something, but Flute just caught my eye because it's another vibe coding platform, definitely. But the product demos just looked interesting because of how the pages were styled, how interestingly and differently they were doing it. And throughout using it, even using the free credits, I was able to create something that I was genuinely shocked by. Coming from using other tools like V0, Lovable, Copilot, it just really ended up being an interesting tool, so much so that it's the first tool that I've ever spent money on in the coding space.
Oh, that's really crazy. That's cool to hear. Yeah, yeah, I also had the same experience that the free tier was quite generous. And just zooming out a bit, like why you even chose vibe coding? So you're an experienced coder, and still you chose to use a vibe code tool to do this project.
Yeah, essentially it was a matter of time. So the entire code base right now, I believe, is something around 41,000 lines of code. That's something I would never be able to accomplish within just a few weeks. School at that point was already starting for the next school year for the next cohort. And essentially what I thought was if I can get this up and running as soon as possible, because this was about maybe a week before school starting. I thought that maybe if I could get the system up and running, that maybe they could start using it by the time that they started processing orders for the school year.
And did that work out?
Yeah, it did. I ended up building the prototype and the first actual version within maybe I think 10 days. And that's something I would have never been able to do if I did it myself or I did it with another tool. I think the first version was something like 25,000 lines within
That's
10
in,
days.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
incredible. Let's just you can share your screen if you want to. Let's just take a look at what you built. What are we looking at, Alvin?
So essentially, this is the entire Printed Works web page. For the public facing web page, I built an ordering system. I built a contact us button, essentially just leading to a mail to. It just essentially makes you email the student email. We have an about page and we have a team page. There's also a what we make page. The what we make page explains most of our services. The order page allows you to place an order directly to the backend system without any buffer. You essentially just enter all of the information and you're allowed to just submit an order. Now, here's the interesting part. If you want to go back to home,
All right.
and scroll all the way down. In the bottom right corner, there's a Made with Love button,
Yes.
and that's the panel. That's the access to our backend panel.
Ah, all right, very clever.
So
Very
if you
clever.
want to log in, you can have a look. The email that I have set up right now is test@test.com.
But we're gonna have to change this after I launch this.
Yeah, I will. So we have a daily check-in system where it essentially allows us to see how many points our students have and to check in every single day that they're working on a project. Those are the orders. About 3 of them, I believe, are submitted through the main page. About the rest are manually entered. Each button does a different thing. I would love if you could blur out the personal information.
Yeah, I will blur it out. No,
Yeah,
don't worry. But it looks
and we
very
have a-
impressive, and it looks actually very user friendly. I've been in retail myself, and it was
Yeah.
always like a mess with SAP.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I was at Target for a while. The handhelds, the zebras. Yeah. Um, yeah, so we also have an invoice generator there. We have user management, which allows us to see all users and give them different permissions and see their points. We have events management, which essentially allows us to manage to schedule events and have them display as a warning as the top banner on all of the students' home pages. You have products, you have categories, which are just the ones shown on the main page under what we make. We also have accessories, hoodies, stickers. Those are just some of the ones that we're selling on the website right now. A lot that we aren't. The audit logs are there. We have attendance, which we use to log attendance every single day. Someone checks in, we can see whether they check themselves in or someone else manually checked them in because maybe their computer wasn't working. We also have volunteer hours if you want to hit manage all hours and certificates.
Yes.
Manage all hours. You can see all the other hours that all the students have requested so far. And there's also the certificates, which they can automatically generate from the portal once their hours are approved. So they don't have to ask us every single time.
It's really impressive how robust and functional the system is you made. Is there one last thing you want to show me before I stop sharing my screen and we dive back into the convo?
Yeah, so the invoicing, that's something that I was the most that was probably the most tedious thing to try to get Flute to generate an invoice. That was still very smooth. The main thing was getting the logo in. If you want to try to generate an invoice,
Oh, I love this.
yeah, I try to essentially replicate the entire feeling of QuickBooks in this regard. That dark mode needs to be a little bit tweaked, but I try to replicate QuickBooks because what we were using before was QuickBooks and we were paying for it. So this was one of the first features that I implemented to try to, stop the bleeding of probably I think a $300-$400 service in for a $50,000 a year revenue student business.
You're giving me ideas, Alvin. You're giving me ideas because I'm paying for a service that makes my invoices right now, and they have like ridiculous pricing. So
I know, yeah.
I might just open up Flute tonight and build myself something like this. I'm very impressed. Like, I use Flute a lot, but I often stick to more simple apps, and you really build something complex and robust. So that's really cool. So I want to just ask you a bit more about your experience with Flute. So what was a particular wow or aha moment when you were using it?
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, definitely being the database. Not having to go out specifically set up a separate database was completely foreign to me, and it was super, super intuitive and easy to do. Number two being the synchronous function where you could sync the code to your desktop and edit the code by your desktop as well. I think that was something that really spoke to me because sometimes I need to do code editing and browser being an OCD freak just doesn't cut it. So I like being able to pop into Visual Studio Code whenever I need to edit a certain portion of the code myself. Also just the robustness of it. It loves to go back and fix it. I noticed it loves to go back and fix its own mistakes. And that's something I found really interesting, and that all the other providers I need to pay additional credits for. Flute just does it on its own.
Yeah, it's really nice. One more time, zooming out on this project, what problem did it really solve for you, this project?
Yeah, so essentially, if it probably saves us around $530 a month. I may have graduated, but I am still currently an advisor to the club president. So essentially, what we were doing before is the headache of paying $500 a month from the school account, basically $6,000 a year, right? For something that I realized, hey, we could build ourselves. And 6,000 a year, $6,000 a year is not inconsequential to a club that does 30,000 a year on its bad years, $50,000 a year on its good years, right?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
almost 20% of our income on certain years. So we were doing QuickBooks with 3 seats, $75 a month before. The previous site was hosted on DigitalOcean, $12. Slack, maybe 400-ish. So we have a chat system in the site now. We had Trello, 3 seats for about $15 a month. We also had storage. We had Google One. So in total, Slack and QuickBooks, just Slack and QuickBooks probably saved us around $500, and that was just basically the thing that wowed me the most with the Flute Suite.
No, it's amazing. Like you're really inspiring me, Alvin, because you were just looking at how you guys were using stuff, um, and you're like, hey, we're subscribed to so many things. So I think I can combine a custom tool, custom fitted for your use case. So that's really incredible. The last major question I have for you, what kind of things would you like to build in the future with Flute, or are you already working on new projects?
I am working on a new project right now and essentially hoping to grow it. As a business, I'm currently working on car rentals. And right now, I don't know if you ever heard of a platform called Turo.
No, I haven't. Enlighten me, enlighten me.
Yeah, so it's essentially a peer-to-peer car sharing platform where a host can essentially rent their cars out on the platform to independent renters, where Turo handles the insurance, the payment, the fees, and the ID verification. What it did is essentially become the Airbnb for car rentals. It disrupted business, but now I believe that since their main competitors shut down in the US, that they're getting a little bit too monopolistic.
Ah, and the prices
So
go,
I'm
the fees
trying.
are going up, hey?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I see. We've seen that
Um,
before.
so essentially, what started as a 90-10 split, 90% to us, 10% to them split, essentially now becomes a 60-40. So instead of maybe getting paid, if the guest is paying $100, they take $10, we take $90. We now get paid somewhere around $55 to $60 instead of the $100 that they charge the guest.
Hey, that's
Uh,
unfair, man. That's unfair. We don't like that.
so essentially, I'm trying to build a more decentralized competitor platform. I was just considering using Flute to build. It's a really interesting concept because so many people are right now complaining about Turo, both on the host side and the renter side. The renters saying that the prices are too jacked up, way too high, and the host saying we aren't getting paid anything at all. So it's just an interesting dilemma that someone needs to solve. And as someone with domain expertise in both the rentals and the programming side of things, I feel like I might be able to execute correctly.
Absolutely. I believe in you, man. Alvin. And the nice news is I just got my driver's license back. I lost it on holiday.
Mm.
So maybe I should use your platform once you build it to buy a car. That would be super cool. I think it's a really cool idea. I would love to talk to you again once you are a bit ahead with that and you want to show something to the road. Maybe we can help you with that as well. So I think we can wrap it up here. I'm going to stop the interview. I want to thank you very much for joining us on this first Flute Builders interview. Very
Mhm.
excited what you build and very excited what you're going to build. Thank you, Alvin.
Thank you.